There it is. This is what we're going over tonight, boys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We talking about sports podcast. I got the MMA experts here with us. I got Justin. I got Big Ben Diesel. What's up, guys? How y'all doing, man?
It's good to be back, Ron. I went on vacation. Y'all covered it. Did some NFL pods. Did some MMA without me. But I'm back and I'm ready to go. UFC 277. We just passed. We're gonna talk a little bit about it, right, Ben? What
Yeah,
about you?
yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, we're back for I don't want to spoil anything, but a pretty underwhelming card this weekend. Last weekend we had that pay-per-view, had some funky endings to some of those fights. Appreciate Ron doing that recap video for us. I
Yes, sir.
know I had given out some plays. Josh had given out some plays. Ron had, said what he was going to be on. So overall, I mean, it was a good card for the show. Pay-per-view, it's end of July. We're now in August. So this is the first card of August. But the main event is pretty good. The co-main event's pretty good. But for the most part, there's not much to talk about on this card. But I am happy to be with the two of you fellas, to be talking some fights.
Shit. Well, you guys are the experts, man. I'm just here to moderate. But I was with Josh, another WTBS fan guy, buddy, old pal. We fucking had a good time. The cards were lit. We had fun. Moreno won, which was great for us, Hispanics. And overall, that's just what I thought of it. We went 12-7 as a pod. We made some money. We had some good time with the boys. And I'll let you put the cherry on top of UFC 277, Justin.
Before I get into UFC 277, I just got to point out that Ron has a video of us playing in the background.
Oh,
the
yeah.
technology on this kid, man. Look at this. Who does this?
He's
Ron
leveled
does.
up. He's leveled up while you were on vacation, cuz.
So, Ben, 277, just, to further recap what Ron said, we obviously knew who won those fights, but I want to talk about the thing that stood out to me the most out of that card, and that is Magomed Ankalaev. I think he's a true light heavyweight contender. His only loss comes to the Bear Jew by submission in London. I think we have a new problem in the light heavyweight division. I think he's worthy of a title shot next. I know Glover and Yuri kind of have that set up, but this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in a row in the light heavyweight division. Some pretty big names: Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Volkan Isdemir, and Kutalaba. Get this man his title shot. I think it's ready for it. What do you think, Ben?
I think you're shaking off some rust, because there's no way this boy gets a title shot. I mean, he's the one that beat Anthony Smith, correct?
He broke his ankle, yeah.
He didn't break his ankle. It was a freak accident. I thought the first round was really competitive. I think some of the judges one of the judges had Anthony Smith winning the first round. I thought that he should have been the favorite in this fight. He was, I believe, a 4 or 5-1 favorite on Anthony Smith. The whole buildup coming into the week was, Anthony Smith is behind the desk, and he felt disrespected by a lot of what you would call his colleagues, right? His co-workers on the desk, kind of talking up Ankalaev and not talking him up at all. So I thought it was a freak accident. I definitely don't think you get a title shot winning like that. I don't think that you get a title shot winning like that. I mean, I'm not going to say run it back with Anthony Smith, but let's give him a real test. I mean, that first round was very competitive. He did start taking over a bit, but the way that fight ended was one of the many freakish endings, besides that early stoppage with Derek Lewis that I think was an early stoppage. I didn't like the way that ended. I wouldn't say you get a title shot off that.
So he is ranked 3rd. Would you like to see him fight Jan Blachowicz, and then the winner gets the title shot of the winner of Glover Yuri?
I think they already signed the Glover Yuri's happening again, the rematch. I mean, yes. Why not? Is he just going to sit out? He just fought a round. Get him in there against Jan. He should take care of Jan. In a fight against Jan, he's going to be probably a 3-1 favorite, if not bigger. Yeah. So put him in there against Jan. Let him get some more rounds in before he gets to the title.
Yeah, he didn't take any damage. So I just think when you got 9 wins in that division, you probably got your shot. You can call your shot at this point.
It's none of name value, though, bro. I mean, we know that division has changed for the worse since John Jones decided to move to heavyweight, but no wins with any real name value. And then, I mean, a loss to Paul Craig that didn't age too well. Paul Craig fought earlier in that card.
And that was his first UFC fight, though.
Yeah.
After that, it's been all dubs.
I get you, and it was a tripped out loss, kind of a Paul Craig win, but Paul Craig didn't look good at all this week, boys. I know we were all kind of
Real
on it.
bad.
We like backing the Bear Jew, but that dude forgot he had hands or some shit. I don't know. Arms, not hands, because he really doesn't have hands. We're talking vergazos, but he forgot he had arms. Pulling guard from the weirdest positions. It was a horrible act.
It was like that one dude, Ryan Hall, just always doing rolls, trying to pull the guard as much as possible.
Yep.
Man,
you
guys need to get into those corners back there, man, with the cut man, because I don't know what you guys are doing here on this pod. Y'all need to have a towel around your shoulder and some Vaseline on your hands, because you need to be in them corners, guys. That's what I think.
Hey, there was some nasty cuts too. I don't want to be a cut man.
Yeah.
There was some nasty cuts on Saturday.
Yeah, they have to check out Pena, because they thought she might need some plastic surgery because a piece of her forehead was missing. But it turned out to be okay. She's not going to need the surgery after all.
It was those cuts where they put like the whole
Vaseline on
Q-tip
in there.
the Q-tips all the way in there, and then it even closes. Damn, that's fucking rowdy, bro.
Yeah,
but yeah, nonetheless, 277 was great. The main fights that everybody talked about were great. The prelims were great. The pre-prelims were great. The analysis that you guys just gave was awesome, and that's the kind of shit that you can get here, with us, that we're talking about sports. So we just covered 277, like the guy said. There's a card this Saturday on the 6th. Today's the 3rd, which is why you're with us, and which is why we're gonna give you all our predictions for the cards on the 6th. And this is it right here, man. Predictions. So we're gonna do Santos versus Hill, and then also Justin touched on it before. This is the Ultimate Fighter finale with Walker and Miller and Usman and Pauga. I don't know. You guys could probably pronounce that better than me. Pauga. But let's just.
I haven't watched any of the Ultimate Fighter, but Justin, do you just want to give a little bit of rundown of the two finalists match? There's going to be a new tough winner or two tough winners.
So on the heavyweight side, you have both of them coming from Pena's team, Zach Pauga and Mohammed Usman, brother of Kamaru Usman.
I was just about to ask, are they related somehow?
Yeah, they're brothers. This is a younger brother, but he's a bigger brother. Usman kind of already, the news broke. He's got his contract regardless of the win. He's already on the roster now. Pauga is still, for all intents and purposes, fighting for that roster spot. More than likely, he's going to get one for what he's shown on his two fights. I think he'll be the favorite here. I think he'll beat Usman. Usman relies a lot on his wrestling. It's not as good as Kamaru's. He didn't come up in the wrestling rank, so it's not as good. And as far as Juliana Miller, Brogan Walker Sanchez, that's a good one too. Sanchez comes over from Amanda Nunes camp, and then Miller comes over from Pena. Now, this is going to be wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. Juliana Miller is constantly spamming submissions. Look out for a submission there. But Brogan Walker she has it all. She has a stand-up and the wrestling game. So that's going to be interesting. I know Brogan will be favored there, but I will be cheering for the problematic Juliana Miller.
Hey, and sounds like that Usman name carries some real heavy weight in the UFC. If this dude's getting a contract off of a decision win, he's got 2 wins in the house. One was a decision.
And that second one, some say he didn't win. So
right, I'm not very impressed with him. Like I said, the name carries a shitload of weight. We're talking about the younger brother, the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the UFC, Kamaru Usman. So I don't expect him to win either. He doesn't. His output is just not that good. Like you said, relies on the wrestling, but he's just not active. He's not doing a lot. I've seen him fight previously in Bellator. Wasn't impressed. There's just too many times in the fight where there's nothing coming, no type of offense, no type of just stalling coming from him. And
a lot of work against the cage where he's just stalling the fight.
Right, boring shit. So we'll look to fade him. When we see his name pop up in the UFC, he's probably at least guaranteed 3 fights with that contract. We're going to be looking to fade him, especially in the heavyweight division. At least I am. And then in the female fight, I didn't watch any of the Ultimate Fighter. I just had some, previous knowledge of Usman. But I'm going to watch the fight because it's going to be on. But shit, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then just going for the lines here, boys. We have. Let me get the lines for you real quick.
I think
Okay,
Usman is
so we have Usman at plus 205 and Pauga at minus 255. So Pauga clearly the favorite here at almost
His two first fights were, a lot more definitive than Usman's were. That's completely fair right there.
parlay piece or no, Justin?
I have a lot of faith that we might even see a stoppage here.
Okay.
nice. And then as far as the women go, we have Miller at minus 125 and Walker at minus 105. A little bit more of a coin flip there with
I thought it'd be the other way, the way Brogan showed this so far.
Oh shit! So value on the dog here, Just even though
I think you would have to. I mean, Brogan has a stand-up that, let's be honest, Miller didn't show. She has the jiu-jitsu game. She's a black belt. That's all she practices. I would go Brogan. There's more value there.
Wow, Brogan at minus 105 seems like it's the pick, along with Pauga being a possible parlay piece. If you feel confident in Walker winning, then Pauga could be your parlay piece there. Get a 2-leg parlay going. It's probably playing close to 2-1 even. So
yeah, you get pretty good odds parlaying those two. Like I said, I didn't watch any of this season. I know Justin did keep up with it. I mean, it usually when you watch The Ultimate Fighter, and for me, it's been a while. I just can't get myself to watch that shit. When you watch it, yeah, no, I know.
Compared to what it used to be,
because I haven't heard shit about it, so it's gotta be bad. Yeah. Like not even on the timeline, nothing. But usually when you watch that show, you can be profitable. In the finale when they go on that card and you get these fighters to fight, whether it's throwing guys in a parlay, but you've seen it play out. You've seen them. How they are out of the octagon, also in the house, and you kind of just see what guys are it. Like when Kamaru Usman was on The Ultimate Fighter, like you knew, this guy for sure is going to be something.
Yeah.
So you can tell a lot from watching the show.
And even then, I still underestimated him. I thought he's going to be something, but I didn't think he's going to be pound for pound right now king. I never saw it that far. I just thought he'd be, make a run some point. But dude, he has surpassed my expectations.
I've been on the bandwagon since 30%, baby. You know what I mean? Or 60%, whatever the hell he said it was when he was getting clowned.
Justin was on the Masvidal bandwagon when he punched him in the
never have been. That's not my guy.
Oh, that was Leon Edwards.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Nah, he wouldn't have done that to Usman. Come on.
Let's be clear. Masvidal's not my guy.
Hey, well, let's get into the two fights that we're going to talk about for this card.
Let's do it, man. Hey, how's that beer? How's that beer tasting over there, pal?
It's empty, bro. I need to go get another one, but I can't leave right now.
All right,
dreams,
so let me go over it for you here. Thiago Santos with the record of 22-10 versus Hill, who's 12-1. Their last fight, Santos is coming off a loss. Hill is coming off of a win. He is the favorite here. Height obviously is close. Weight is exactly the same, and reach is about the same. So anything physically that stands out, from these two guys, like just off tail of the tape, physically or anything like that, what stands out for you guys, real quick?
I mean, off the tail of the tape, I mean, I like the reach for Jamal Hill, but just the age. I mean, I know the age isn't on here, but the age is the biggest thing. Age is a part of the tail of the tape. I'm not, saying. I'm just saying, like, you got like a 10-year difference here, 8-year difference in age. 7 years. So Santos is at the tail end of his career. You know what I mean? He's lost 5 out of his last 6, 4 out of his last 5. Not very good. Since he had to get both of his knees repaired when he tore both of his ACLs in that John Jones fight. Yeah. So he hasn't been the same since. Kind of that gatekeeper guy about to make his way out, and then you got one of the biggest prospects in the division. A guy that people get pretty excited to watch when he does fight, Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. This dude puts people out. So the quickness, and based on the age, the quickness, we've seen them in there. Jamal Hill, this should be like a one of them stepping stones that it's like, okay, even though Thiago Santos, like we said, is spiraling down, at the tail end of his career, this is one of those that you got to get this stamp in your passport. You know what I'm saying? To fight the bigger guys. So.
And I'm glad you talked about strikes, man, because we have the significant strikes, average per guy. Santos being on the left in red. So where does this kind of lead you? I mean, I'm sure you already kind of have your opinion on the fight, Justin, but as far as the significant strike stat here, is this even more of a reason to take Hill?
Yeah, I think so. I expect both of them to stand up. So, and like Ben said, the age and the athleticism is going to make the difference here. Hill gets knockouts, 7 fights in the UFC, 5 of them by knockout. So this is what he does. One of them got overturned, but he was a TKO still in that fight. He popped for marijuana, which is crazy that we're still overturning fights for marijuana at this point. And then he got caught by Berju by knockout. But other than that, we've seen Santos just look abysmal after John Jones. I thought he looked pretty decent against John Jones for 2 of those 5 rounds. But after that, he's been on a bad run. He did knock out Johnny Walker in a crazy fashion where Johnny Walker did that little back jump thing that he did that was all over social media afterwards. But he's been, 4 out of 5 losses. I don't see a good night for Santos. They keep putting him on these cards instead of putting him on pay-per-views. He's fought in Vegas like 5 or 6 times in a row for a reason. He's fighting in front of no crowds. It's not going to be a good night for him.
Does it worry you guys any bit that that Hill does give a little bit more he absorbs more strikes? I mean, it's about 1 to 2, but is he a fighter that can knock you out? But does he have the chance to get caught himself by, can you say Silva has a puncher's chance here?
I don't see it anymore for Thiago. Like, I don't see that power. He's like we saw pre-John Jones, the way that he was really putting people out like Blachowicz and Jimmy Manuel, Eric Anders. The dude was on a terror. People didn't want to fight him. After John Jones, we've seen enough to know the power's not there no more. He really did a number on those knees, like Ben said, and the guy can't generate power anymore like that.
It's definitely still his only path to victory, though, because he's not going to win if this fight goes to decision, and a lot of Jamal Hill's fights don't go to decision. But if it goes to decision, you see the discrepancy in landed strikes per minute, and it's almost double for Hill.
Yeah,
so he's the more active guy. He's going to be putting it on him. He's going to win if it goes to the cards. This isn't going to go to the cards. I think Hill overwhelms him, and Hill gets him out of there inside the distance. I think that Hill could be fighting for a title pretty soon, bro. I would like to see Hill against Ankalaev. You know what I mean?
And then going off of wins, I mean, this is how, their wins have come by here. The knockout and the TKO. Actually, Silva has a higher percentage in knockout and TKOs. 5 more submissions, so none for Hill, which means that, just like Ben said, he does like to throw those hands here. 40% if it does go to decision, Hill has won those. Look at the fight time, though. As being a guy with big hands and who strikes really well, his average fight time is only 5 minutes. Thiago is the veteran. His average fight time is closer to 10 minutes. Maybe that can factor in if this does go to the distance. If it goes the 3rd round, I mean, Hill usually only fights 5 minutes, so you never know, man, in those later rounds. And then the knockout average is there at the bottom as well. So again, all signs point to Hill here. But based off this, I mean, any chance that Thiago pulls this off, or are we just putting him in that parlay?
Yeah, I'm not going to parlay Hill. I'm actually going to take him. No, I am going to parlay Hill. I am going to parlay Hill the next fight. But I'm going to parlay Hill. I just think that he's going to win. I'm also going to take Hill by TKO or KO. You can get that pretty close to even money. This fight ain't going the distance. I really don't believe it's going the distance. You see the average fight time of just a little over 1 round. I mean, there's going to be a statement win for Hill. So the over-under on this fight is set at 1.5 rounds also. They don't expect it to see the cards. I don't expect it to see the cards. Give me Jamal Hill in a parlay and also by TKO or KO.
All right, so you're pretty much saying Hill early. Anything with Hill early, take that to the window.
I wouldn't take the under 1.5 just because if I get Hill inside the distance, I still have a whole another 2 minutes and 30, 7 minutes and 30 seconds to play with.
I like that.
That it could get finished in the 3rd round. So I would just take Hill by KO. I wouldn't necessarily play the under on the fight though.
All right, good take there, Justin. How are you gonna put the cherry on top of this one, man?
You're muted, cuz.
Oh, my bad. Hill by KO. I think if he does it early enough, we'll see him right inside the top 5.
All right. So that was it for the first fight there. I think. Let me see. Give me a second here. We have got something for you. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so big odds.
Yeah.
Big odds, 3-1 odds. The Hill TKO, you see it at -120. That's why I said, Hill, money line piece, maybe with that Hall of Fame game tomorrow, them Raiders, little Raiders and Hill parlay. But no, I like Hill by TKO. I like him to get it done inside the distance.
All right, that's a We Talking About Sports consensus. I think we can give the check on that one. Hill by TKO. For some Thursday night UFC. For some Thursday night betting, but Saturday night action.
Yep.
All right. So then we got Luque.
Yeah, man. Pretty exciting fight here.
Luque and Neal.
Luque, we know what to expect in the Vicente Luque fights. It's usually violence, and it's a whole lot of violence, baby. Jeff Neal, last time we saw him in the octagon, Justin, weren't they yelling at him in the third round? Like,
against Ponzinibbio.
I'm talking about yelling at him.
His coach was going hard at him.
Oh, yeah.
What was he saying? For those of us that didn't watch the fight, what were they saying?
He was just telling him to let it go. That you're gonna be behind. Like, you want this or not? Like, he was going to hammer at him, like in his face, like up, like just like being straight with him. Like, hey, you're down. You need this. Like,
yeah, and it was in the Apex, and there wasn't fans, so like you could really you could hear him like, hey, bro, if you're just gonna be conservative and not let go, there's no way you're winning this fight. It was the start of the third round, and I mean Ponzinibbio, we've seen Ponzinibbio, ever since he came back off like that 2-year layoff, he hasn't really been the same that title contender that he was before that injury or the virus that he got. Vicente Luque coming off a loss, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He got tapped out?
No, Bilal just wrestled him for 5 rounds.
Bilal. And that's crazy because Bilal Muhammad's a guy that, both of these guys were thought to be, more superior than up until like the last year, this Bilal Muhammad run. I think that I was on Bilal Muhammad against Luque. I can't believe I didn't remember that. I know, Josh, you, Roland, a lot of people were big fans of Vicente Luque, and I'm a big fan of him as well.
I was on Bilal.
No, but you don't like Luque?
No, Luque's not my guy. Like, I remember I would talk to Josh, and he would hype Luque up, and I'm like, dude,
Josh loves Luque. Yeah. I like Luque also, bro, because of the style of fights that he puts on. It's one of those guys where, like, if you're introducing one of your friends to MMA, and the first fight he's gonna watch is a Vicente Luque fight, he's probably not gonna walk away saying like, "Oh, bro, are you serious? You hyped it up for this shit?" Like, no, he's gonna walk away like, "Damn, how much do these guys get paid to do that shit?" Like, Vicente Luque leaves it all in the octagon, bro. I expect him to rebound after that Bilal Muhammad loss here. We'll get into the odds a little bit later, but the line isn't too big. It's very playable for a straight play, in my opinion. I do like Vicente Luque to bounce back. Jeff Neal is not gonna attempt any takedowns on Vicente Luque, I don't think. If it's going to be a stand-up fight, if it hits the ground, it's going to be because Vicente Luque is the one who took it to the ground. We've seen him, rack up countless submission victories and knockout victories. So I really like Vicente Luque in this fight. Like I said, bad taste in my mouth with the last thing I saw from Jeff Neal in there with his coach yelling at him the way he was in a fight against Ponzinibbio, where Jeff Neal was favored in that fight as well. And I believe he got the win, but he squeaked it out, and it took, every ounce of him. So I like Vicente Luque in this one. I could see Vicente Luque breaking Jeff Neal.
Yeah, I mean, 38% of his wins have come by submission compared to Neal's 14%. So besides it being violent, I mean, it seems like this guy has some killer ground game.
10% decisions, cuz. Come on. Like, this dude goes in there to either take a limb home or leave somebody knocked out. That's what he goes in there for.
Well, it seems like he's your guy, Justin. I will let you touch on Mr. Neal here and let the world know if he has any chance against this fearsome Vicente Luque that Ben says is going to walk away with the W.
Yeah, I don't believe he has a chance either.
2-0.
Jeff Neal, I think he's borderline gatekeeper. I think he's even a little bit under a gatekeeper at this point. Luque does come for, destruction, and if he can, he'll get the sub. If you fall into the ground, he'll pull guard with you and he'll get the sub. But the man is coming to strike and be aggressive. Only 3 losses for Luque. in the UFC. It's Leon Edwards, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and Bilal Muhammad. Those are guys I consider to be closer to the top. You know, Wonderboy Thompson, not so much now, but he was, you know, fighting for titles at one point. He beats guys like Chiesas, the Woodleys, the Browns, the Nico Price, you know, Barberena, guys like that he can beat. So I put those names in the same set, you know, the same pool I would put Jeff Neal's name. So I definitely believe that Jeff Neal has no chance this weekend against Vicente Luque.
Dang, well then that's gonna make it a consensus for us, man, because I'm gonna hop on that bandwagon there and say that
Good choice, pal.
that we are gonna get Luque and we are gonna get Hill. So
Yes,
wrap
sir.
that up, put a bow on it.
I feel real good about those two picks myself.
And then it looks like we're gonna have we're gonna have some action on Saturday, boys. And just to touch on them real quick, this was it, so everybody can see it. That does watch us, because you can watch us on Facebook, you can watch us on our YouTube page, and if you want to see visually what the lines are and which one we're gonna go with, Luque right now it's at -172, so it's Wednesday. I mean, things like to change. If all the money is coming in, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, by the time the fight comes around Saturday, you could see this, you know, -190, maybe. I mean, I don't know as high as that.
2 to
But,
1.
I mean, yeah, it could go 2 to 1. So if you want to take this as a straight play, it's kind of like borderline. If you really think he's going to win, you can drop a heavy amount on it. If not, you know, throw it in the parlay. But I would do it now before it gets any later.
Luque Hill parlay seems like the way to go, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Luque straight. To be honest, I think that in MMA, it's one-on-one. It's kind of different than those team sports where you try and, you know, only parlay 2 to 1. You know, 2 to 1 or over, you try and keep them in parlays, or even if, you know, over -150. Some people just like to parlay that and not drink the juice. In MMA, it's different. I mean, it's mano a mano. Like, you know what you're getting. You don't got to rely on a team. You got to rely on a fighter. You see this in boxing, the lines. In MMA, -172, I think, is still playable as a straight play. I'll be on it, you know, Saturday. I'm gonna drink the juice. And I'm getting in now. I'm not waiting, because I agree that I think that it could touch 2 to 1 by fight night.
All right. So, I mean, this show was good. I mean, we're all in pretty much agreement. I liked it. I'm excited that we got to do a little show here, because you guys together hadn't, you know, been on. We've had Justin here, we've had Ben there, so it was cool to get on this a little bit. It'll be out. Hopefully everybody's watching. You have about 3-4 days to watch this, share this, so not only we can win, you guys can put in your predictions. Hopefully your predictions win, and you know, we can all make some cash. And Saturday comes around, we have a little bit of extra bankroll in the pocket, man, for those NFL future plays that we'll be discussing on Monday, talking about sports as well. So just to wrap it up, man, this was the predictions for Santos versus Hill UFC Fight Night. Me, Justin, and Ben threw it down. We're doing a show. Is it live tonight?
Tonight it will be live.
Tonight it'll be live. Our fourth brother, the Four Horsemen, Roland, will be here with us, and we'll be recapping an NFL division. But that's it for this show. Anything you guys want to say before we bounce?
No, man, it was good to, like you said, have everybody back. Good to do an MMA show. This, like I said, pretty lackluster card. We only talked about 2 fights for the most part, you know, but there'll be a pay-per-view coming here soon around the corner for August.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, August 20th, man. We're going to get that Usman Edwards too. I think that's going to be pretty good.
Uh-huh.
And then we finally get to see the return of Paulo Costa versus my boy, Luke Rockhold.
Oh, my God. Get
be
off.
ugly for
That's my
Rockhold.
guy. What am I supposed to do?
That's going to be ugly.
Oh, my God. I think we just need to,
He was a
end
champion.
it now.
He was a champion.
Everything was going so well until he uttered those words. But that's it. Peace. I'll leave you guys with the outro. Like, share, and thanks for watching.